So we're going to go over some daily Hiva stuff. We can do this from a few different positions. It's a position that I like to refer to as like the false bolo, right? Because we're possibly going to be getting into a berimbolo type position. But if you look at it, it's hard to argue that it is actually a berimbolo, so I call it the false bolo, okay? We can start from daily Hiva. So the main thing, I have a nice strong daily Hiva hook that's going to be able to internally rotate the knee. Okay, I need to control his ankle. Okay, so I'm controlling his ankle and his knee. Now I can do that here. I prefer an underhook. Okay, now if you're competing in IBJJF, be very careful about not fulfilling the criteria of getting disqualified by like connecting your hands or getting to the belt just yet. Okay, so we want to make sure either the hook is out or we have something else other than an underhook. But if you're just in the gym, this is fantastic. We can connect our hands, or if it's no-gi, we can connect our hands, no problem, okay? Now, sometimes when I have a very strong internal rotation, he turns his knee super far. And this is totally okay, because I'm basically gonna force the knee to continue down to the mat, okay? Here, all right? Now, where a lot of people go wrong in something like this is they let go of the underhook and they go to reach the hip here. And then I kind of lose control of the position, okay? So what I like to do here is I like to cross grip. I reach up and see how I'm still on my elbow. I reach up and I control the hip, okay? A few different things might happen from this position, okay? I could just now post, scoop my hips out, pull him in, and now switch and start to take the back, okay? But what also might happen is we might pull him, and now this is where I get into this berimbolo position, right? And now it's fine, and now I can start to take the back again, or we're in the truck, whatever you want to call it, okay? So we can either get to this position by our partner kind of panicking a little bit and kind of rotating, and that knee internally rotates by itself, or we could have a very strong daily Hiva and we could force it. If you're able to connect your hands, you could force it. If you are going to force it, at a certain point, I'm not going to think about turning my knee in. I'm going to think about my shin in the back of his knee, forcing it down to the mat, right? So if I come here, I'm going to be forcing it down here, okay? So it's as if I'm like kicking it down, all right? So that's going to be a little bit more forcing, okay? But now I can reach up here, okay? Now I have some height. I can scoop my hips away, pull him in, okay? Even again, I can make my hook 1, 2. You can take the back however you like, but I really like reaching up in this cross grip, okay? Across the hip, controlling both sides, okay? Even if we're doing something like this, right? Okay? Where my hook is now out, I could start to force it down to the mat. Now I'm facing the other way, so I have to adjust, right? 1, 2, okay? Again, I could start to pull him back. This would be totally okay. And now 1, 2, right? Now we're just kind of finishing it like how we normally would with a regular berimbolo, okay? But that's what I describe as the false bolo. We can do this in a few different positions as well. Like let's say Blake's in turtle, right? He's here, and now let's rotate a little bit here, okay? Same sort of idea, right? If we're just here, top turtle, 1, 2, right? Where I'm torquing the knee, we get that same sort of thing as if I had the daily Hiva, okay? And now I could fall, and now we're here, same position, right? Hard to say that this is a berimbolo, but we're in the berimbolo position. So, false bolo, it's just different, okay? And it just sounds really cool. Just like the false reap, things like that, okay? And then we can finish however we want. So, be creative with it. It's something to think about. Really cool technique, gi and no gi. Again, there are some stipulations on like the legality of it in IBJJF, so just make sure that you read the rules, make sure you're not getting yourself disqualified per your division. But if you're in the gym, you want to train, and you want to take some people's backs, feel free to utilize the false bolo. It's good.
Nice ending.
Yeah.
Nice radio voice ending.
I've been trying to end my sentences better. That's something I always struggle with.